Bringing Kebbi right now was a moment, especially for the parents and the rescued children.
It's quite a slight challenge connecting properly with Abdul Jalil in Britain, Kebbi, but surely this is one huge sigh of relief and would reconnect with him in the course of this bulletin. Let's talk more about security matters. Troops of the 12th Brigade, Nigerian Army, have again foiled an ambush by armed bandits and rescued a kidnapped victim during a coordinated operation around Shoko and Obajana in Lokoja local government area of Kogi State. A statement by the Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations of the 12th Brigade, Nigerian Army, Hassan Abdullahi, says the operation was carried out in the early hours of Tuesday, 25th November 2025, following credible information on the movement of bandits crossing the Shoko-Obajana corridor with abducted persons. The troops deployed at the Kaba patrol base, working jointly with other hybrid forces, conducted a special ambush operation and intercepted the criminals. During the encounter, one of the bandits was neutralized, while others fled with varying degrees of gunshot wounds. The operation recovered one AK-47 rifle and rescued one of the kidnapped victims. The statement says further operations are ongoing to track the fleeing members of the criminal group. With crime on the rise in many communities, attention is shifting to the generation most exposed to its dangers and most capable of championing real change. Zenret Dinmu reports that stakeholders are now placing character development at the center of the solution.
The coaching and everything that she's been training us to do as teenagers, so that when we grow up, we will not depart from it.
When we see something, we say something. You have to report so that we can have a crime-free society and a better tomorrow.
At a time when crime trends are evolving globally, experts say catching them young may be the most effective way to build safer communities. The conference, themed "A Crime-Free Society is Possible, We Must Get It Right," brings teenagers into the conversation, acknowledging both their vulnerability and their powerful role in shaping the future. Speakers note that the road ahead may be tough, but insist that determination and the right values can make a real difference.
Establishing safe havens, reading rooms, and a mini library, raising ambassadors for a crime-free Africa. This is not just a dream. It is a mandate.
Put them where they belong to create a conducive environment that is proactive and friendly for them to thrive.
With the Part D Vision 2035 driving the initiative, the mandate now shifts to these newly inspired young ambassadors, tasked with returning to their communities and peer circles to spread the message of positive choices and responsible behavior. In Abuja, Zenret Dingu, NT News.
Elsewhere, the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas says the Nigerian Army's commitment to safeguarding the nation's oil and gas infrastructure is of topmost priority. The Naval Chief gave the assurance while on operational tour of Niger Delta Commands. Baratwapere Away reports.
It was a day of high military activity here in Yenegua as the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, arrived to evaluate the Navy's preparedness in the heart of the Niger Delta, home to Nigeria's most vital oil asset and a region long challenged by sabotage, crude oil theft, and maritime crime. The Naval Chief said his visit is part of an ongoing assessment tour aimed at aligning operations with emerging security threats. Having served previously in the Central Naval Command, Admiral Abbas described the terrain as familiar, noting that it places him in a strong position to identify gaps and strengthen maritime security strategies.
That week ago, outside, that is so, whatever we're into, whatever we can do for this to prepare to become things all up Saiki Ako.
Rear Admiral E.D. Abbas was conducted by the FOC Central Naval Command Rear Admiral Suleiman Ibrahim round ongoing infrastructure projects and facilities within and outside the Central Naval Command to further understand the challenges and giant strides of the command before receiving detailed briefings on recent operations, including efforts to curb illegal refining, pipeline vandalism, and rising cases of oil theft. Senior commanders assured him that despite the increasing pressure nationwide, joint maritime forces remain resolute. For the new Chief of Naval Staff, the mission is clear: restore confidence, tighten security around critical national infrastructure, and reinforce the Navy's role in stabilizing the nation's economy. In Yenegua, Baratwaipre Awe, NTA News.
All sincere apologies for that misrepresentation in that report. The Chief of Naval Staff is Vice Admiral E.D. Abbas and not Rear Admiral. Let's move on and also tell you that the Code of Conduct Tribunal is reassuring Nigerians of its commitment to quick dispensation of justice. The chairman of the tribunal, May Nasara Umar Kogo, who disclosed this at the commencement of the 2025-2026 legal year, promised to strengthen the institutional integrity through fair and efficient adjudication. Omenka Amarachuku reports.
The Code of Conduct Tribunal was established in Nigeria in 1979 during the Second Republic with the primary objective of maintaining a high standard of morality in the conduct of governance business, reflecting on the importance and challenges of the tribunal and outlining goals and objectives for the upcoming year. Minasara Umar highlighted plans to enhance the tribunal effectiveness.
I've requested for, when the act is amended, to have 36 number of judges. This 36 number of judges will be 5 for each of the geopolitical zones, and then these people will be trying the matters, because the humongous number of cases we inherited, we want to bring about change so that once these cases are decentralized, we'll be able to finish them quickly, just like the innovation I have brought. I've started court sitting, and there is no day my court sits without finishing a case.
In the National Assembly, we are ready to make sure that we repeal all the laws that need to be amended so that they can come into law.
The Code of Conduct Tribunal is an institution for promoting accountability and good governance in Nigeria. In Abuja, Umenka Mrachku, NTA News.
All right, let's reconnect with Birnin Kebbi, where Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawar tried to tell us the mood concerning the reunion of the kid-abducted girls with their family. Now, Abdul Jalil, straight up, tell us, surely there's a big sigh of relief in town there, and these girls and students are actually back with their family. Tell us more about that.
Surely, Ayodeji, there was a sigh of relief for the parents and the students who were freed, because it was a moment of tears of joy by the parents and the students who were freed after disconnecting with each other for over 8 days. But today, thanks be to God and the federal government, state government, and the security agencies intervention and swift response, because the students were today handed over to their families by Governor Nasir Idris, where the wife of the governor earlier on ushered the student into the government house, and questions were asked where they were not molested, they were by the bandits, and if the students were both.
Oh dear me, the connection again a bit not getting things plain, as we actually wanted to have the proper feeling of what was ongoing there in Kebbi concerning the students who have been reunited with their family, thanks to the intervention of federal and state government. But just a quick set the record straight. It's been put on record that the students were not molested. Let's Let's continue with Nationwide and go straight back here to the north central of the country, where First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has joined development partners, traditional leaders and policymakers in the call for action on creating sustainable access to energy, agriculture and public health through the adequate management of water resources. This was at the Lokoja Dialogue hosted by the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Correspondent Benny Adams reports.
Nigeria itself was birthed out of the confluence of two great African rivers.
Seated in here are members of Nigeria's presidency, the diplomatic community, development partners, heads of ministries, departments and agencies, alongside children, all united by water. The conversation is on the need to connect community-defined challenges to policy, partnership and investment pathways that will drive sustainable water solutions and break the cycle of climate-driven poverty.
This is renewed hope in action, where knowledge meets compassion, policy meets practice, and community meets sustainability.
The situation is very real and urgent. It's time for us to come together to share our values and to fix the broken water cycle.
Effective water management is essential for securing our power supply, lowering energy costs, and enabling continuous industrial and technological progress.
The community level action must be taken. People must be incentivized, mobilized, empowered to make their contribution, including to this water crisis.
They believe that reversing water scarcity could boost Nigeria's growth by up to 6% each year. The consensus here at the end of the conversation, talking about the Lokoja dialogues, is that the climate crisis is a water crisis, and the solution has to be local, where energy is considered, food is considered, as well as public health. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Transforming knowledge into assets, ambition and economic influence is the focus of a national financial literacy program in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports that it was an event to equip Nigerian youth with digital tools and skills for wealth creation.
Using the rate of unemployment through empowerment and financial literacy has always been at the heart of successive administrations, and the present administration is no exception. A 2023 survey report indicates that 21% of men are excluded from financial services.
It's very easy to make money, but how to retain and keep that money is one of the greatest challenges.
For Samuel Ojodale, it has been difficult trying to save, but with motivation, he now knows that knowledge is not just power, but profits.
Some money was coming in, so I didn't actually plan at that particular time, so it distorted my plan at that particular moment, but I learned my lesson.
The young people who understand money, who know how to save, invest, build assets, manage risks, and also create values and multiple opportunities. These are the young people that will lead Nigerian into prosperity.
For every hardworking Nigeria, there will be support to do better.
Experts here highlight some skills needed to level up, such as competence, discipline, consistency, and character.
Generating income for young people has to be an entry point to increasing access, reducing risk, and deepening financial inclusion.
Immerse yourself in the learning pathways and begin this journey towards smarter financial decisions, responsible investing, and long-term wealth building.
Aside ensuring that more than 100,000 youths acquire financial literacy skills annually, another catch here is that once you're financially literate, you won't fall for Ponzi schemes. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
All right, join me as we go over to our Lagos Network Center, and Awal will take it up from here.
Jen, glad to have you join us in Lagos.
The advent of digital age challenged a lot of institutions by rendering their services obsolete. Such institutions have over the years become indispensable allies of the community. One of such is the nation's postal service. Larry Gbeleye takes a look at how this iconic service has been able to survive the turn of the tide.
NIPOST is an iconic institution that our father used to send messages across the nation. It's iconic because for more than 170 years, this institution has been doing just that all over the country before the digital era. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the advent of digital age led to a drop in the revenue of Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, from 3.37 billion naira in 2019 to 3.01 billion naira in 2022.
We've been using post office for a very long time before this new system of computer, arrived. You see, for some time now, particularly somebody like me, I have box here before in post office, but now I don't use it again.
I just felt maybe with the advent of the internet, you have email, you can actually do your correspondence, but people still taking correspondence from abroad, official correspondence, you still need the post office, so it's still very much effective.
These are called letter boxes. That is, when you come in, you drop your letter in here, and the NIPOST officials will take it to the destination it's supposed to go. It's not that NIPOST did anything wrong, really. It's just that digital era is a disruptor. It brings with it a lot of tools. We have emails, we have SMSs on your phone. Now we have social media where you can send instant messages. And this really affected this iconic institution. With artificial intelligence gradually taking over almost every sector, management of NIPOST say the institution will embrace the positives to remain vital part of Nigeria's digital landscape.
Use the digital age to our advantage in NIPOST. We have what we call track and trace. Wherever you post your letter or mail item, you can always track it from the corner, 4 walls of your room.
Officials believe the institution will become a digital hub for financial transactions and bill payment, especially at the grassroots. In Lagos, Larry Gbeleye, NTA News.
We now shift attention to food security. To address agricultural financial constraints and enhance food security through structured support to farmers and agri-businesses across Nigeria, the National Agricultural Development Fund is leveraging effective collaboration to achieve this quest. This was the consensus of speakers at a strategic stakeholders networking session in Lagos. Diana Ajale tells us more.
In addition to consistently supplying humans with food, serving as a means of livelihood and survival for many, the agricultural sector contributes significantly to the nation's GDP, yet it receives a minimum share of private credit and investment.
The right investments.
This stakeholders meeting is therefore aimed at bridging that gap between opportunity and actual financing.
Agriculture currently accounts for more than 30%. 31 to 34% of our GDP, but how much are we putting into agriculture? Less than 5%. There is a need to do more private equity and more bespoke type investment that are of longer tenure.
Agricultural financing has historically been done in banks. It now requires capital markets, longer-term blended financing solution.
Executive Secretary, National Agricultural Development Fund, Mohammed Ibrahim, stressed the importance of data-driven decision-making, highlighting the development of an integrated digital platform to track beneficiaries, monitor projects, and align interventions with the national data system.
One of the aims and objectives of this meeting is to see how we are going to deepen investment, how private capital can flow better. What are the constraints? What are the challenges? What do we need to do?
Panelists gave insights on improving agricultural output, import and employment generation, as well as risk management.
We're a growing country with large population. We need to feed ourselves. We need all hands on deck to be able to finance agriculture.
The event further discussed the need for innovation, technology and evidence-based policy making to enhance agricultural productivity, sustainability and competitiveness in the sector. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
That concludes our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide will continue after the break in Ibadan. Don't go away.
Nationwide on the NTA, and it's a warm welcome to Ibadan. At a time when global economies are grappling with inflation, rising public debts, unemployment, and widening socioeconomic inequalities, experts say economic crises are increasingly fueling conflicts across regions. This was at the 19th International Conference of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice held in Ibadan. Adebola Agbaji tells us more.
The conference was an assembly of participants from across Africa and beyond, with the aim of exploring how economic stability is connected to peace building. Speakers emphasized that an increase in poverty, resource competition, and economic exclusion continue to heighten social tensions, particularly in developing countries.
Secretary of War also from the United States also promised that they are going to support Nigeria with intelligence reports and also some equipment for us to fight terrorists and bandits.
Supporting ourselves and our communities will make the communities resilient, and once we do that, we take ownership of all the challenges facing us as Nigerians.
We have to ensure that the peace exists within our community, either in the state or national, because without peace there cannot be development.
When we come together like this, from practitioners, from military experts and all of that, we can begin to see how we can coalesce to actually look for a solution.
If we pick it up and we do it well, the society will change. But if you continue jettisoning the role we're supposed to play in society, obviously it should be known by everybody that media is out of the business.
The conference featured the induction of new fellows and the conferment of awards, with the theme Economics Challenges and Tasks of Building Sustainable Peace in a Globalized World. The 19th Society for Peace Studies and Practice International Conference concluded with a call for strengthened partnerships and long-term investments in economic resilience as key pillars of peace. In Ibadan, Adebola Agbaji, NTA News.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, has reaffirmed the service's commitment to strengthening border security and supporting the federal government's agenda of defeating terrorism. She made this pledge during a working visit to Ibadan. Lukman Hassan has the details.
Addressing personnel of the command, the Comptroller General Kemi Nandap emphasized that Nigeria's border remains central to national security, noting that improved surveillance, intelligence sharing, and increased patrol are vital to curbing cross-border crimes. She assured the officers that the service is intensifying efforts to deploy more technology, tighten entry and exit point, and enhance rapid response across border communities.
Our presence must be felt. You must be very, very vigilant. You must be strategic in your patrol. I want visibility. We can't afford to have gaps that these criminals will exploit.
As part of the visit, the Comptroller General also met with the management of the University of Ibadan, where she highlighted the importance of research, policy development, and academic partnership in strengthening border governance and improving national security.
So we've done a lot in terms of our visa policies, in terms of our passport processes, and even our command and control. It's one of the best in the world.
The beginning of an enduring relationship, and then in forging collaboration in terms of developing evidence-based research and policy that will be able to move the nation forward.
During the engagement, Nandap was conferred with a fellow of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, an honor that recognizes her contributions to border governance reforms and her leadership in enhancing migration management across the country. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Ayodeji in Abuja takes it over from here.
Thanks so much, Kemi. Once again, the Southern Governors Forum is advocating the establishment of state police, working with traditional institutions and sharing information to effectively curtail the rising spate of insecurity in some parts of Nigeria. Speaking before a closed-door emergency crucial meeting which held in Ikperu, Ogun State, the chairman of the forum, who is also the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, said the forum wants joint action against crime in the region and the establishment of community police to secure schools, farmlands, and the entire country. They commended President Bola Tinubu's prompt action, which led to the release of abducted students and individuals in some states. Bitter ventures came tops at the just concluded 8th Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit's agribusiness pitching session. Deborah Balagbubu reports that at the pitching session, which focused on innovative agri-value chains, food security and export models, Adora Akojume's Better Agri-Ventures captured the interest of investors, and a 250 million naira offer was made by Christopher Obode from New Jersey.
Congratulations, Adara, an amazing success story. Your ask has been granted.
It's just been back-to-back intensive work. It's not an easy journey. So everything has just led me here.
That's what Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit is all about.
The Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit has continued to review how Nigerians in diaspora and Nigerians at home can work together to create jobs, stimulate investable ideas, innovation, and leverage trusts. Let's move on now to Kogi State, where the state government is working hard to ensure the Lokoja-Abuja highway is safe and motorable throughout the festive season. Solomon Ahidei reports.
Centrality of Kogi State in north-central Nigeria positions it as a transit state connecting other states of the country, including the FCT. Movement here is all year round, making the state a melting pot for vehicles and travelers during festivities.
Even without the festive period in place, commercial vehicles traveling day and night all pass through Lokoja and they stop over. So it's not unusual.
It is against this backdrop that the Kogi State Executive Council ratified a proactive synergy of both the state and federal ministries of works in collaboration with heads of security agencies, coordinated by the state security advisor to enhance a safer motoring along the corridor throughout the festive season.
The Ministry of Works, Kogi State, Federal Ministry of Works, talking with the contractors how the road can be patched, repaired, to assist the ongoing job Mr. President is doing in Kogi State.
This collaboration is going to help us in no small way to remove obstructions from the road, to allow free flow of traffic. And as for road safety, we are going to make massive deployment. Everybody is going to be involved. We're not going to wait for the peak period.
With this move, stakeholders are hopeful of safer motoring, devoid of traffic-related challenges before, during and after the Yuletide. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
All right, now Solomon joins us live to further tell us what these measures are all about and the prospects, particularly for this strategic road that connects the northern and southern parts of the country.
Welcome to Lokoja. I am right at Nataku, the entry point from both the north and southern part of the country. The strategic location of Kogi State, bordering 10 states of the Federation, including the FCT, as well as serving as a link between the north and southern part of the country, generates a lot of traffic all year round. And this is expected to be more during the festivities. As we speak today, there is apprehension among the motoring public of what is likely to be the traffic situation as we await the festivities. Presently, there's a lot of construction activities going on between Abaji, Kotonkarife, and Lokoja along Abuja-Lokoja highway, and some sections of the road have been closed, forcing a one-way movement. And as such, motorists are afraid of what the situation will be when the festive period approaches. And so it is against this backdrop that the Kogi State Executive Council met and ratified that the security advisor to the country, to the state, should coordinate a well put together palliatives that will assist motorists as far as traffic situation is concerned during the period. And what are they expect to do? Ministry of Works, Kogi State, working in collaboration with Federal Ministry of Work, as well as other security heads in the state, are expected to work together to ensure that there's security during the festive period. They are expected to move and carry out some palliatives where there are potholes on the road. They are to work with contractors to fill those potholes. Where there is need for expansion of the road, they are expected to carry out such expansions to ensure that there's free flow of traffic. Security-wise, it is believed that when the traffic is low, that is when hoodlums swoop on the road and kidnap motorists. So it's expected that when the traffic is flowing freely, that will be prevented. And security operatives are going to be deployed heavily on those sections of the road to ensure that there's no occurrence of kidnapping or any breach of security. Road safety officials, they have also mapped out all the flash points along the route between Kotokarfe Junction. Mobilize their men on the road for patrol and control.
Okay, well, Solomon, I'd like to appreciate you for the detailed updates on the level of palliatives being given to motorists concerning the road connecting Abuja and Lokoja Highway. And of course, as we prepare for the Yuletide, where many Nigerians will be moving from the northern and southern part of the country crisscrossing. Thanks so much again for your time.
You're welcome.
The federal government has launched a national electric tricycle and motorcycle empowerment initiative, a major stride towards sustainable youth empowerment and green mobility in the country. Through this effort, the government seeks to position youth at the heart of Nigeria's transition to environmentally responsible innovation and economic inclusion. The initiative aims to generate employment, promote clean energy adoption, and empower Nigerians, particularly those in the informal transport sector. Details of this will come in our subsequent bulletins. Minister of Education has urged librarians in the country to join hands with concerned bodies and authorities to have proper ways of reinventing ideas and strategies to keep abreast of current trends. Director, Library Service of the Ministry of Education, who represented the minister, said this at the 12th Mandatory Conference of Certified Librarians in Nigeria and 2025 16th induction. A repository of intellectual resources is an internal component of knowledge expected to leverage the ever-evolving technologies relevant and impactful in contemporary society. The theme for this year's conference is libraries as catalysts for renewed hope, advancing knowledge, innovation and national development in the digital era.
Apt but topical, as it will explore the important and indispensable roles of libraries in facilitating knowledge, advancement and innovation as drivers of the renewed hope for national development.
Part of the objective of this conference is to make librarians keep mastering the new trends and innovative skills.
Let our libraries be centers of renewed hope by building bridges between past and future, between information and action, between our communities and the world of knowledge.
500 librarians were inducted, bringing the number of certified librarians since the establishment of the Librarians Registration Council of Nigeria to 8,230. Let's move over to the seat of Caliphate. Sokoto West Sadia has the next set of reports.
Ayo.
As part of efforts to reduce maternal and infant mortality, the Sokoto State government has presented motorcycles to immunization officers across the 23 local government areas of the state. The State Commissioner of Health, Dr. Farouk Umar Abubakar, handed over the motorcycles to the officers to enhance mobility and ensure effective healthcare service delivery. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu has more.
The 25 motorcycles procured are part of efforts to provide healthcare services to the doorsteps of people in the rural areas. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Farouk Umar Abubakar, explained that the intervention is designed to boost immunization coverage across the 244 political wards of the state. He highlighted the progress recorded in the recently concluded integrated polio and measles rubella vaccination campaigns, noting that the achievements were made possible through the unwavering support of the state government, development partners and stakeholders.
When we have better immunization, it's also a strategy to reduce the maternal and infant mortality. And that is why His Excellency is so there to provide what is needed in order to strengthen and improve the immunization coverage across the state.
We had National Council of Health in Calabar, where all the stakeholders on health, policymakers, implementers, together to assess and deliberate on what's going on in the health sector. To my surprise, Sokoto is one of the best performers.
It's one of the historic days here in our state, so that to witness the distribution of the motorcycles across the local immunization officers for the all 23 LGS in the state.
Development partners also reaffirmed their full support toward revamping the healthcare sector to guarantee lasting and impactful results. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the state government and pledged to use the motorcycles responsibly to enhance service delivery. In Sokoto, Abdullah Umar Ilalu, NTA News.
To education matters now. For over 4 decades, A.A. Raji Special School in Sokoto has supported children with special needs in their pursuit of education and a better future. However, years of structural decline have left the school in urgent need of rescue. Now relief has come as Governor Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto approved a total renovation to enhance teaching and learning. Elhatu Abdullahi reports.
Schools for people with special needs are established to provide tailored education support and care services often lacking in mainstream educational institutions. The Abdurrashid Adi Saraji Special School in Sokoto, founded in 1984 by the Sokoto State Government, was created for this purpose. During the recent 2026 budget discussion at a town hall meeting, a concerned stakeholder appealed to Governor Ahmed Aliyu to rehabilitate the school, which is currently not conducive for learning. Without waiting for the 2026 fiscal year, the governor approved the total renovation of the school with immediate effect, to the delight of students, teachers, and the Joint National Association of Persons with Disability.
Some classes are spoiled, no facilities for education. Not only the students of Sokoto State are benefiting with the special school, in the whole 19 northern states are benefiting with the school.
Children with disability will have access to education. After the total rehabilitation, the school should have accessible devices so that the student will have access for their learning and conducive environment.
It was gathered that a team of engineers has already assessed the school and prepared a bill of quantity for submission to the state government.
We just have to thank His Excellency for this kind of gesture to the educational sector.
A number of schools have already been upgraded, with 240 more renovated and furnished under the Agile project across the state as part of efforts to reposition the education sector under the administration's 9-point smart agenda. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And those are the updates from Sokoto. It's now back to Ayo in Abuja.
All right, thanks so much, Sadia, in our Sokoto Network Center. This is Nationwide. Let's pause for some messages. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. Latest national nutrition reports show that more than 5.4 million children under 5 and nearly 800,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women are acutely malnourished. As Nigeria marks the 2025 National Nutrition Week with the theme Sustainable Nutrition for Healthier and Productive Nigeria, stakeholders at a two-day dialogue are calling for coordinated action to reverse the reports.
Nigeria's battle against malnutrition has taken an urgent dimension following the 2025 Global Hunger Index that ranks the country second worldwide. The Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning convened this two-day national dialogue to strengthen data-driven approaches for monitoring nutrition and delivering community-focused solutions.
One of the challenges has been paucity of data. We have the National Nutrition Dashboard, which is some progress made, but we still require a database.
Experts, government partners, and delegates from all the 36 states agree that addressing malnutrition must be multi-sectoral.
It's really taking the lead of malnutrition in Africa. Very poor indices and very poor situation that needs to be changed.
We've talked about how to advocate more, how to present data and make evidence more real, to be able to push our stakeholders or our policymakers to improve funding for nutrition.
At the close of deliberations, participants underscored the need to integrate nutrition into national development planning, while urging the ministry to scale up its Nutrition 774 initiative designed to improve nutrition outcomes across every local government area in the country. In Abuja, Ifoma Ojinta, NTN.
The National Council on Livestock Development is recommending that all states of the Federation should establish ministries of livestock to complement government's efforts at the center. The Council, at the end of its maiden council meeting held in Yola, also appealed to subnational governments to have dedicated budgets for transboundary animal diseases, pests and zoonoses to address emerging animal diseases. Yusuf Jika tells us more.
At the first National Council on Livestock have deliberated and come up with some far-reaching recommendations of transforming the industry in subnationals to adopt National Livestock Growth Accelerated Strategy, NLGAS, to raise the country's GDP from $32 billion to $74 billion by 2035. The Council also encouraged states to adopt one health platform with legal instruments to address emerging zoonoses and establish a functional state desk office for youth and women initiative with 30 to 40% empowerment programs. It also identified strengthening of animal identification and traceability for improved disease surveillance, international trade and animal rustling, as well as promoting inter-community relations among farming and pastoral communities.
Every animal will have a microchip in its body, and that no animal without a chip will be transported to anywhere, to any live animal market, livestock market. You'll be a suspect.
At councils like this, state commissioners or their representatives will be called up to give us updates on the memos they probably got approvals at the previous council meeting.
The second edition of the National Council on Livestock Development is billed for Lagos State in 2026. In Yola, Yusuf Jika.
Strengthening primary health care involves huge investment in infrastructure, effective workforce, and expanded scope of practice and partnership. Correspondent Elizabeth Omori reports more on the recommendations by medical experts on primary health care boosts.
Primary health care is crucial to address health challenges. It focuses on prevention, treatment, and management of illnesses. These health experts are gathered to share thoughts on how to advance digital innovations and promote inclusive health financing.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and state counterparts are expanding geographical captive areas for health facilities and access to basic health care.
There's renovation that is going on, and I think about 4,000 primary health care centers in the country have been renovated so far under the Renew Hope agenda. This is to make them more functional. So these challenges that you speak about are already being addressed through the basic health care provision fund.
Private sector roles, brain drain, and insurance coverage were part of issues discussed.
We cannot improve the primary healthcare in Nigeria without the business of healthcare. And what am I saying? Because in the business of healthcare, you expose the players, the top players in the industry, bringing everybody close to discuss healthcare business and to also form collaborative partnerships.
To save more lives and reduce disease burden, experts suggest public-private partnership to bridge personnel and infrastructure gaps at the grassroots. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
All right, let's check out what's trending in the world of sports.
12 polo teams are competing in this year's Polo for Education tournament at the Kefi Polo Ranch, with the former champions Kefi Ponies leading the competition alongside Makomais from Jos. In an early match on Tuesday, Rubicon Polo Club secured a 6-3 victory over Husky after 5 chokers. The ranch founder Ahmed Aliu Wadada stated that this year's event aims to support the education of orphans and underprivileged children while fostering community ties and encouraging social inclusion.
It is about giving back to the society for the good of humanity. You know, we organize 2 tournaments every year, one in support of orphans and the other in support of education.
Elsewhere, 2 European champions face off at the Parc des Princes on Wednesday evening as Paris Saint-Germain hosts Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Champions League group stage. The match is a rematch of this year's UEFA Super Cup, where the League One leaders triumph on penalties. But visiting supporters might be worried about a heavier loss this time. While at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal will confront Bayern Munich, reviewing a historical rivalry known for its high-scoring games. Meanwhile, at Anfield, Liverpool will compete against Dutch champion PSV. Both teams recognized for their quick and aggressive playing style. And lastly, in boxing, British-Nigerian fighter Anthony Joshua has reassured his fans that he is steering the career in the right direction ahead of his upcoming fight with Jake Paul in Miami on December 19. With Sport Update, Peter Oibu, NTA News.
All right, let's quickly tell you that report just coming in states the stakeholders believe that the fight against drug abuse in Nigeria requires a whole of society approach. Correspondent Moses Ochigbo reports that they gave the charge at the National Youth Summit on Drug and Substance Abuse Prevention, which held in Abuja. Surely, the details of this report would come in our subsequent bulletins. And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for your company. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Good evening.